I already had occasion to have a taste of the fine activist people here, the great vodka and nightlife of Warsaw. I'm the co-founder of La Quadrature du Net. We're defending fundamental freedoms online, and we're a kind of citizen toolbox. I'm thrilled to see this great image of a toolbox earlier. I may rip and pirate later on. We are building every day a toolbox for citizens, with tools for people to understand and tools for people to participate when our fundamental freedoms are being attacked. Those tools can be sometimes analytical tools, like when we collectively analyze pieces of legislations or text of free trade agreements, huge piles of boring legalese, like amendments in the European Parliament. They can be analytical tools of peculiar political situation, political analysis that we also crowd source and share and peer review with our colleagues around Europe and around the internet. And also we build technological tools, web-based tools such as political memory that we use to score members of the European Parliament according to their votes in our subjective view of what a good vote should be, among others. I'm thrilled to be here because Poland played a key role in one of the greatest events of 2012, in our view, which is the defeat of ACTA in the European Parliament. And I'm thrilled to be here to share some strategic insights, maybe, with you, because there are very important lessons we need to learn from 2012. And we have an urgent collective responsibility to put these lessons in practice as of today. So what happened in 2012 is not only something that happened in Poland, in the streets of Krakow. It's not only something that happened in the European Parliament, in the European Union. It is something that happened in the internet. It is the internet as a whole who can pride itself of defeating ACTA, the anti-counterfeiting trade agreement, of defeating SOPA and PIPA in the US. It is not the US citizens alone. They may not have been able to do it by themselves if it wasn't for the global resonance chamber that the internet gave to the SOPA and PIPA opposition. So we, the internet, managed to defeat two legislations passed by some of the most powerful actors in the world. We, the internet, managed what every analyst a few months before said was impossible to achieve. And this is, I think, a great lesson. And to try to analyze a bit what are the factors that led us there. And I said try to because I think analysts and researchers will spend years trying to get all of the substance of these battles. But to give you an idea, I think that what we achieved is a proof of concept. And it's very essential. I'm a hacker myself, a hacker in the etymological sense of the term. I'm an enthusiast of technology, and I'm curious. So this is what a hacker is. So I'm a hacker myself, and I know that a good idea is nothing without a proof of concept and running code. So this is what we achieved with SOPA, PIPA, and ACTA in a very small period of time. We achieved the proof of concept and the running code that this type of bad legislation can be defeated in a collective effort. And the elements of this proof of concept is, first of all, the crowdsourced and shared collective analysis of the situation. Whenever a draft of ACTA was leaked, the first leak in 2008 was published by WikiLeaks. Some other leaks were, we leaked some other draft ourselves. Whenever a document was leaked, analysis was first created on a wiki. And we invited everyone to come and help with the analysis on the wiki, to come and comment, to participate, to troll, to discuss all of this. So this is a key element, and we cannot win such a victory without a strong, agreed, peer-reviewed analysis. Then it is a decentralized network of actors and organizations. We did a lot. The first edit on our wiki about ACTA was in late June 2008, and the victory was in early July 2012. So that's 4 years of work. But we're just one of the many actors in this loose network of participants. Then new ways of participation. Constantly invent, constantly hack, constantly try to put together things that weren't meant to be together in the first place. During the last months of the ACTA campaign, we invented the Pi phone, and we based ourselves on some campaigning tools that we saw in the SOPA and PIPA battle that were themselves inspired by campaigns we launched in 2008 during the telecoms package battle. With the Pi phone, we found a way with cheap voice over IP communication to enable participants in our campaign to call members of the European Parliament for free. We pay the bill. And so some student in some remote country may not use his mobile phone to call Brussels, because the price of a communication, of an international communication, may be the price of a hot meal in his country. Well, we pay the bill. So collective analysis, decentralized network of participants, new ways of participation, but this would be nothing without the lulls. We're having fun doing it, and this is one essential element. This is how we get people to participate. This is how we invent. This is how we create. This is how we motivate people. So please never forget about this. Have fun while doing it. So I'm not saying that we saved the world. We didn't save it yet. There are many, many upcoming threats on our fundamental freedoms online. Other free trade agreements where unelected representatives of our governments negotiate measures that harm our freedoms online when they should be democratically debated in Parliament. It's a major trend, and this should be opposed. CETA, the Canada-EU trade agreement, may be concluded next week. A US-EU trade agreement is beginning as of today, and it is very likely that it will contain the same copyright shit that was in ACTA and that is currently in the TPP, the Trans-Pacific Partnership. As with ACTA, no measure that will attack our free internet and our freedoms online will be legitimate if it is behind closed door, being negotiated instead of debated. The data protection regulation in the EU is raging today. It's the strongest lobbying campaign that many people have seen in the European Parliament as of today. US-based online industrial actors, the US government itself, banking industry, insurance companies are now lobbying the European Parliament so they would decrease the privacy safeguards that were proposed by the Commission and decrease the privacy safeguards that we currently have in the EU to match the level of, well, no safeguard, basically, they have in the US. This is also a major threat on our freedoms. So I'm confident that we're getting better all the time at opposing and defeating those threats. I'm confident, but it is incredibly hard work, and I encourage all of you to take part of it because we need you. But I think this is not enough. Opposing those bad legislations is one thing, but maybe we demonstrated in 2012 that we gained a political momentum that may be enough to impose our positive political agenda. And this is what we are trying to do right now. So one key element of it is obviously net neutrality. And net neutrality is very specific because it is both a opposition agenda and a positive agenda. By imposing legislation that will protect net neutrality, we will then be able to oppose the behavior of those telcos operators who decide for commercial reasons to restrict our fundamental freedoms of communication and our privacy online. So this is one key element. But even more important, maybe, and even more difficult to achieve, is the urgent need to reform copyright, to change an unjust copyright regime that, under the influence of industrial lobbies for decades, has turned against the public. We must reform that copyright regime that altered the subtle balance it is supposed to be and defend. We have to reform a copyright regime that today attacks all cultural practices based on sharing, remixing, and copy-pasting. And we must protect all cultural practices, our cultural values, rather than attacking them. This is the point of the proposals of La Quadrature du Net. We formulated 14 elements for reforming copyright and related cultural policy. This is an agenda that we are pushing as of today in the European Union. You can imagine the enormousness of the opposition we have in front of us. You can imagine how powerful are the lobbies of these industries. But hell, look at it. Look at 2012. We have proof of concept and running code that we can defeat them. So, as a conclusion, this is this universal diversity. This is this universal capacity of participation that we call the internet, that we have a collective responsibility over. The internet is our common good. It means that we collectively own it, and it means that we collectively have responsibility over it. So let's get things in action. Let's get all the lulls, all the pixels, all the motivation, all the new forms of participation we can imagine, and collectively we'll protect this free and open internet, so it will continue to be the enabler of all our important fights. Thank you.